Hello, this is Brennan Wilmington from the Left Turn Network, and welcome back to another Lumen Stock Car Invitational Series race, season number 5, race number 10, and at long last, the entire last 2 weeks of Speed Weeks have built up to this. We are here for the big one, the Lumen 500, the most prestigious race in LSCI, and there will be 39 drivers looking to etch their name into history to try and win the biggest race of them all here at the World Center of Racing at Daytona. I am joined alongside Darian Arsdorf here today, and Darian, we've seen a lot this Speed Weeks from some crazy duels, some unexpected outcomes in qualifying, and a pretty crazy amateur series race on top of that. Darian, if any of that is any proof of what we're going to see today, how are you thinking this race is going to go?
I feel like there's only one way this race can go, Brendan, and I feel like it's going to be chaos incarnate. After what we saw in the duels on Tuesday, especially with how much happened in those two 20-lap races, like there's no telling what could happen now that we have a full field of 39 and the race is roughly double or triple in length, you know? There's going to be so much more happening, and I feel like chaos is going to be the name of the game here today in the Lumen 500.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing to note, this race has been very kind to drivers that are in their first Lumen 500, and we have one of those drivers starting on pole, Paula Sasikwa. Last year, we saw Jake Sidney take the trophy home, and then it was Billy Smith, JB Chanot before them. Darian, do you think this trend continues today? We've got a lot of very fast part-timers, some of them in their first Lumen 500s. What do you think the odds are that we get an upset winner today?
It's very likely, especially when you look at who's up here at the start. And obviously, when you look at someone like Paula Sasikwa, who's been so good in all of her starts this season. I saw it firsthand at Iowa a couple weeks ago. We've seen it at Auto Club. We've seen it at Phoenix, just how good Sasikwa is comparatively to some of the other part-time drivers. I'm not saying the others are bad, obviously, but Sasikwa has just been another step above everyone else here. JC Kreider's another driver you can look at in terms of first Lumen 500, I believe, starting in row 9. She has been trying to make this race for a long time, and now that she's finally in the big dance, I feel like she's also one to look out for here today.
Yeah, absolutely. But you cannot deny experience. A lot of experienced drivers up here towards the front as well. You've got Adrian Pearson, Tyler Landry, Charlie McCarron, all starting in the front 2 rows. So you got a good mix of both up here. And I think you got to have some experience, at least on some level, to make a good run in this Lumen 500. But let's go over your starting field for the only 39 car race that we've ever run in LCI up to this point. You know, this is the big one. We let 3 extra cars in every year, so that's how you know that it's a big deal. On the front row is a Pacific Racing lockout. Paula Sasikwa in the 12, who has been oh so impressive in her starts this year, starting alongside Adrienne Pearson, who is still looking for that first career win, and she's got a very good chance at it here. She almost won it 2 years ago when she was driving for Blake Everett Motorsports. Could this be the day for Adrienne Pearson? Row number 2, you've got your dual winners. Dual number 2 winner Tyler Landry in the 66 and the 85 of Charlie McCarron. We already know these cars are very strong in the draft. I mean, you have to be in order to win your duels, so look out for them to possibly try and get their wins as well. Isabella Fitzmaurice and Nathan Buchanan, 2 strong super speedway drivers. Starting in row number 3, both driving for Patriot Racing Incorporated. Definitely watch out for these 2 Chevrolets. Row number 4, Cooper Spur in the 24, Holly Martin in the 27. Looking to upset the field here. Both of them have wins before, but Holly Martin got very close to winning this race back in season 2. That was 2023 when she was driving the 77. Then it's Latanya Gray and Damon Kirby, a couple other drivers that could really upset the field here today, starting in row number 5. Row number 6 is the 99 of Akia Tajima, one of the fan favorites, alongside the 10 car of Simon Lawrenson, also good at these kinds of tracks. You got the 40 car of Adrian Wheeler alongside the 57 of Shauna Everett. Blake Everett Motorsports still looking for their first win as a team. This would be an amazing spot to get it. And we know that Everett definitely has a chance of winning these races. I'd say all 39 drivers in the field have a chance at this, as long as you can stay within the pack and stay out of trouble. Alnita Kim, the current points leader, she's a good pick for first-time Lumen 500 starters to win this race. She's already shown that she can win before. She has a lot of pace. She's in a very fast Columbia Motorsports Toyota. Look out for the 79 car to possibly get win number 2 here in the Lumen 500. Alongside her is last year's pole sitter Michael Harvin, who was in danger of missing the field this time, but made it through in his duels. Then it's the 62 of Vinny Scholes, who has never won before in LSCI, but is very strong on these kinds of tracks. So definitely watch out for that 62. And the Pacific Racing cars seem very fast. So Vinny Scholes will have a real shot at getting her first win here. JC Kreider in her first Lumen 500. Her first start since season 2. She has been trying to make this race every year, but this one was finally the one that paid off. And we'll see how Kreider manages to do in the race. She'll have her husband in the field with her, which is a few rows back. Then it's the 6 car of Lori Jackson for McPickey Motorsports, alongside Bridget Brousseau in the 52 in her first Lumen 500. 45 car, that's James Harvin in the 45 for Motor Racing Ventures, and the 33 Double Eagle Racing Ford of Riley Pearson. This small team has impressed every time they've shown up here at Daytona, and this is Pearson's first ever, not just Lumen 500, but first ever LSCI start. We'll have to see how this small team is able to stack up to everybody else this year. Then we got Billy Smith, the winner from 2 years ago, in the number 88 car, alongside the 39 of Lakin Herndon. Then a couple of past champions sharing this row here. The number 1 of Tim Berry and the 81 of Jack Gino, looking for good runs to spark a turnaround in their seasons. They've had it rough this year, but this will be a great race to start turning things around as the chase looms closer. Then a couple more Hudson Motorsports cars. They're all starting towards this middle back part of the pack. Zach Dearman in the number 18 and the number 91 of Andrew Kreider, looking to make the most of his opportunity with a top-level team. Then it's the number 20 of Martin Swain, a series veteran who has been a part-timer for a few years now. And alongside him is the 29 car of JB Chanot, who won this race 3 years ago. And then you've got the 32 car of Kate Summers, who finished second 2 years ago to Billy Smith, and the 19 of Jake Sidney, the defending winner of the Lumen 500. Got the 3 car of George Bryan, driving for Patriot Racing Incorporated, alongside the 50 of Jacob Lopez, driving for Motor Racing Ventures. Then it's the 16 of Corbin Taps, no slouch at these types of tracks. He's won at Talladega before. He's won a Daytona Duel before. He's won at Daytona in the Amateur Series before. Just about the only race left he's got to win on these big ovals is the Lumen 500. And alongside him is the 58 car of Joanna Clark, the lone entry for Diamond Motorsports. JT Boyd starting out in the back in row number 18, alongside the 2 car of Kobe Hollenbeck. And rounding out the field is your Season 3 champion, the number 98 of Kevin DuPont. This will be a 50-lap race. There will be 1 pit stop in this race, which may or may not be under green flag conditions. That could definitely shake things up and maybe break things up, depending on how it goes. But we could definitely get some cautions in. Every single race that we've run so far this week has had 1 caution in it, and more often than not, it has been pretty late in the race. So we will see how this goes here at Daytona for the Lumen 500.
Drivers, start your engines.
And the field will roll off the backstretch here at Daytona. And Darian, I'm going to ask you the magic question. It's going to be almost impossible to pick somebody, but you got to do it. Who do you think is going to win the 2026 Lumen 500?
Well, realistic, when you're picking at these plate races, the best scenario for you is just to pick a name out of a hat and see what sticks. But I actually do have a pick this time, and I actually am very confident. I'm picking the 80, Isabella Fitzmaurice, to pull a shocker here and win the Lumen 500 for Patriot Racing.
She's come very close to winning before. She lost by 8 1,000ths of a second at Talladega to Adrian Wheeler last year. And she's also won a duel here before. She is a menace on these super speedways. We'll see what she's able to do here. But it will be a pair of Pacific Racing Toyotas. Paula Sasigua and Adrienne Pearson will lead them to the green as the pace car pulls into the pit lane. And we are underway in the 2026 Lumen 500. Coming through turn number 4, it's side by side for the race lead. Paula Sasiqua and Adrian Pearson up top. Now Pearson moves down to the bottom, but it's going to be Charlie McCarron, the Dual 1 winner, who is going to lead lap number 1 of the Lumen 500. And a screaming pack of 38 other cars right behind her. Holly Martin made her way up to 5th. LaTanya Gray trying to move on the inside. Now Shauna Everett boots her up to the middle lane. And we're going to see, much like we did in the amateur series, a lot of cycling going on in the front of the pack off of the start. But unlike the amateur series, I think we will kind of settle in and see which drivers are better up at the front. Amateur series, of course, is an equal rating series, but this one is not. So we'll see how it ends up playing out further on in the race. But it's likely we'll see a lot of different cars up at the front, especially towards the front, the start of this race.
Yeah, most definitely. But also considering how we saw the duels end up on Tuesday, I wouldn't be too sure that this will mellow out, you know, because those were nonstop action the entire time. Though maybe that was just because of the caution to break it up, and that caused them to get back together. But it was nonstop for the entire 20 laps. So this race being 50, you never know just what might happen. 3 wide for third behind the 27 of Holly Martin. Shauna Everett on the inside of the 2 Pacific Racing cars of Pearson and Sasiqua. Everett's got Adrian Wheeler behind, and then Damon Kirby, Bridget Michaud. Oh, goodness, Holly. That was close.
Lap 3. It's lap 3. You cannot be pulling blocks like that, Holly Martin. That could have been bad, but thankfully made it work. Those blocks, you got to really watch out for them. If you get too aggressive, like kind of what we saw with, was it Karina Willis-Callaway, I believe, in the duel on Tuesday? Yes. Ended up taking her out of the Lumen 500, as well as took out a couple more with her. But here comes Holly Martin to the inside and the number 27. NH Motorsports has 1 win to their name. It was the season opener in Season 3. They've gotten close to winning this race before with Holly Martin. We'll see if they can try and get a chance here. And LaTanya Gray is being aggressive here on lap number 4. She makes a 3-wide move for P4. This 14 car is looking just as fast as it did last year. Damon Kirby, Bridget Brousseau on the inside behind her. Some of those part-timers that we were watching out for. Well, Kirby is full-time, but Gray and Brousseau are part-time, and Gray's making another 3-wide move here on lap 5 to go for second.
Gray is being ultra-aggressive here, just like how she always is, you know. This is just unbelievable to see her already up into second place. This 14 car has always shown speed here at Daytona when the Lumen 500 comes around. When the lights shine brightest, LaTanya Gray and that 14 team have shown up time and time again. And just like we saw in the duels, Brennan, pretty much the entire field is 3 wide behind the race leader. All 39 cars almost. 3 by 3 by 3 by 3.
Further back in the pack, we do have a few trailing cars. Kobe Hollenbeck, Kate Summers, Joanna Clark kind of biding their time there in the back, trying to hang on to the draft. You see JC Kreider back there as well. But it's not necessarily a bad thing to be in the back this early in the race. It gives you more of an opportunity to dodge the chaos if it does happen. And here comes LaTanya Gray and Holly Martin. They have gotten underneath Charlie McCarron and LaTanya Gray. And the number 14, the cell phone Chevrolet, is going to try and get to the lead of the Lumen 500. Is Holly Martin going to continue to go with her or duck low? It looks like she's going to continue to push the 14 and move LaTanya Gray into first in the Lumen 500.
This is a very proud moment for me, obviously. I'm not, I know I'm a commentator, I'm not supposed to be biased, but there's something special about seeing one of your drivers leading the biggest race of the season. LaTanya Gray has been doing such a good job for me in the amateur series, and she is proving now that she belongs in the Lumen Stock Car Invitational Series.
That's a close moment. Bridget Brousseau ran Charlie McCarron up the track. We were talking about amateur series drivers. Brousseau is one of them. This is her first cup race on a plate track. Maybe got a little bit wobbly there in turns 1 and 2. Maybe the car pushed a little bit. But she's up here in P3, challenging for P2. She finished second in the amateur series race, almost won it. And here she is in second again with Andrew Kreider behind. And we've got 3 part-time cars all lined up on the inside here. Andrew Kreider driving for Hudson Motorsports. Oh, watch out! He's going to make it wide. Brousseau tried to block, but she was too late. And here they come for the race lead. Andrew Kreider is going to try and take it. and now he's got a teammate behind him in Jack Gino. They're getting very squirrely up here at the front, and I'm noticing this as kind of like a contrast to the last couple seasons. They're definitely a lot looser on the racetrack than they were before. The last 2 years have been under overcast skies, but this is the first Lumen 500 since Season 2 to be out in clear daylight. And Jack Gino's going to make it 3 wide, and he's going to take the lead over. Maybe that is contributing to the car sliding around more than we expect.
Got 2 Motor Racing Ventures cars on the inside as well. The 55 of Michael Harvin, the 50 of Jacob Lopez. Lopez had to take a provisional to make the Lumen 500. Remember, he got in through owner's points, but now he's up here in the main event and looking good in that 50 car, pushing Michael Harvin into the race lead. Last year's pole sitter finally found his groove here at Daytona with his teammate behind him. And you've also got the reigning Lumen 500 champion, Jake Sidney, right there in the 19.
Tim Berry, George Bryan, among the others that have found the inside and are trying to cycle their way up, but Michael Harvin to the race lead, and he'll put the block on his teammate. Jacob Lopez has won 3 of the last 4 races this season. Those 3 were in a row at Phoenix, Kansas, and Hillside, trying to make it 4 of 5 here today. He has won 10 LSCI races, which is way more than anybody else, but he's never won this race, so you gotta know that will be the biggest trophy on his trophy case if he can pull it off. But Jake Sidney's found his way underneath. A couple of former Lumen 500 winners are up here in the top 5 as Billy Smith is in the middle lane. And Sidney makes his way up to P2. Tim Berry and George Bryan, a line of Chevrolets on the inside trying to make things work. But down the back, you kind of want to be on the outside. That's where most of the momentum is. Billy Smith will clear the one of Berry. And now it's a line of 4 Chevrolets down on the inside. And now 5 if you include Harvin.
And these Chevrolets are looking very good to start off here, especially with Michael Harvin, Billy Smith. And look at McCarron go through the middle. Bonsai move by Charlie McCarron to get back into 3rd place. And now Billy Smith back to the inside. Oh, wait, here she comes. McCarron, the dual one winner, out of nowhere and back into the race lead here at Daytona.
This 85 is one of the best ones on the track, it seems. Charlie McCarron has run 106 all of the LSCI races that have been run and has never gone to victory lane. She has won a few non-points races, including that duel back on Tuesday. But she's looking for her first points-paying win here, and it would be such a huge thing for it to happen in the Lumen 500. She finished 2nd, I believe. Or no, she finished 3rd at Daytona in Season 1. But has not had the best of luck here since, but she is up in the front, but she's got Jake Sidney and Billy Smith to contest with her. Bridget Brousseau has kept this 52 up in the top 5 for the last few laps. She's doing an excellent job in this Blake Everett Motorsports Ford with LaTanya Gray right behind her. So want to give a shout out to Brousseau. She is holding her own up here among some of the best in the LSCI. And she's going to make a move for 2nd right here. Uh-oh.
Yeah, look at
liking
that.
What I'm seeing here.
Oh, no.
Oh, they thought about.
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Gray was able to clear them and get to the inside, and Brousseau and Gray are working together quite nicely here at the start of this race. They've kept their cars up here with Smith, Sidney, and McCarron. Big block there by Brousseau.
That was close. One thing I do want to
into the Lumen 500.
One thing I do want to mention, we do see Charlie McCarron up here, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows for Walker Brothers Racing, obviously, considering what we saw on Tuesday with Darren Walker as well, who DNQ'd the Lumen 500 after being involved in that wreck in Duel 2.
Yeah, and they also had Haley Taps, their one-off entry, missed the show as well. Trying to see where Kevin DuPont is. Looks like he's around the middle of the pack on the inside lane. Back here behind Isabella Fitzmaurice. So he's got a bit of work to do. He started in last. He had to rely on the past champions provisional to get into this race. So, you know, he took that last starting spot, but he could pull off a last to first here. We've seen that happen before in LSCI, but not in this race. So it would be quite something if he managed to get it. And LaTanya Gray's trying to make a move on McCarron, but McCarron is having none of it and pulls the block on the 14 and the 52. She'll keep the lead for now, but LaTanya Gray is hungry to get that lead back. And look who's charging back on the inside. It's the pole sitter, Paula Sasikwa. And she's got Lori Jackson behind her and Holly Martin behind her. A lot of wobbling around the pack. Adrian Wheeler was in a tight situation there through turn 3, but they kept it going. We have not seen anybody push it 4 wide yet, thankfully. But honestly, with the amount of the lack of grip that these cars have, I wouldn't be surprised if we see that at some point in this race. But 15 laps in, and we're still clean and green.
Now Sequel to the inside of Latanya Gray. How impressive has Paula Sequel been in all of her starts? It doesn't matter what car she's been in, what track she's been at, she is always impressed. And now, up to second place here in the Lumen 500, trying to chase down Charlie McCarron. And McCarron with a big block on Sequel. How much of a fire do you think is lit under Charlie McCarron to get this win after what happened with Darren Walker in Duel 2, and just how desperate McCarron might be to finally get career win number 1?
Oh, she tried to pull another block, but the 12 was there. McCarron's being very aggressive with the block. She's looking like Joey Logano up there in that yellow and red car. But here comes Lori Jackson to the inside in the number 6. She's got Billy Smith and George Bryan, a couple of Patriot Racing teammates behind. In fact, a couple more cars back is Fitzmaurice. So that's 3 of the PRI cars down on the inside. We know that team is strong on the super speedways, and Billy Smith's gonna get a push to the race lead potentially as they go 3 wide for the point. Brian behind him, bringing JT Boyd and Isabella Fitzmaurice behind. And we pointed out, Kevin Dupont a couple laps ago was in the midfield on that bottom lane, and he has found his way up into the top 15, knocking on the door of the top 10. But Billy Smith, the Season 3 winner of the Lumen 500 back in 2024, has found himself in front once again here at Daytona on lap 17.
Yeah, but now he's got to contend with his teammate, George Bryan, right behind him. And you've got the 77, JT Boyd on the inside, 80, Isabella Fitzmaurice, 98, Kevin Dupont. I believe the 29, JB Chanot is there as well. Bryan moves back up to the outside with Billy Smith, but now Boyd on the inside line, gonna have a run on the 3 of George Bryan, gonna take it and go for second place. JT Boyd, that NH Motorsports team starting to come alive here at Daytona.
Yeah, absolutely. They were not very quick in single car qualifying, I should say, but they have definitely shown that they've got some strong Toyotas up here. The Toyotas in general have had pretty good race pace and qualifying pace here today. It's just the NH cars were trailing a little bit, but it seems like they figured it out. And here comes the last place starter, Kevin Dupont, going for third on Isabella Fitzmaurice. He's got the 2023 winner behind him, JB Chanot, and the 2022 champion, Jack Gino. And don't look now, here comes Corbin Taps and Alnita Kim. 2 of the best drivers this season are going to contend for the race lead potentially in a few laps. And speaking of the race lead, JT Boyd has gotten underneath Billy Smith, and he's going to take his Menards Toyota up to the lead.
And he's got Kevin Dupont right behind in that 98 car, but I want to take a look at the back there. Joanna Clark in the 58 is starting to lose the draft a little bit here. That Diamond Motorsports car is not good and is on the verge of losing everything here.
Yeah, you got to stay in that draft if you want a chance at this. Joanna Clark on the edge here. She's the only one that has had trouble keeping up with the draft. Kevin Dupont now in the lead. JB Chanot, Corbin Taps behind. Got a couple of the Columbia Motorsports cars showing up as Alnita Kim is also on that inside lane. Gino tried to cross into the middle lane, but there wasn't any room. And Corbin Taps is going to look to the inside as well. Like I mentioned in the pre-race, he has won just about every super speedway race you can imagine in LSCI except for this one. And you know that he's going to want that trophy on his trophy case. And he has made his way up into the top 3 here. But Darian, there's another thing that we got to consider here, and that's pit stops. That's going to start in about 7 laps or so. So how do you think that pit cycle is going to go through if we stay green?
Poorly. I know how Daytona is. I don't trust these guys to make a clean pit stop under green. And if they do, it's going to cause a lot of friction throughout the field. But now we have another battle here in the top 5. Alnita Kim in the 79 going to go for third place.
Taps put the mega side draft on Kevin Dupont. Slingshots to the inside, and Corbin Taps is going to take the race lead away. But for how long? We have not seen anybody hold the lead except for Charlie McCarron for a considerable amount of time. And even then, McCarron is buried deep in the pack now on that outside lane. A lot of rotation going on at the front of the pack, like we expect here from Daytona. Tim Berry and Zach Dearman, who won at Iowa a couple weeks ago in the most recent LCI race, trying to go 2 in a row. Vinny Schulz is behind him. And I see a couple more Toyotas making their way on the inside lane, including a couple of Alnita Kim's teammates. But Kim's going to get stuck on the outside, and Taps is going to hold the lead. He's got help from a teammate coming in the one car of Tim Berry. And we'll see how well they'll be able to hold off the pack until this cycle begins. But 21 laps in, and we have not had an accident yet. Back in Season 3, we basically got to the pit cycle, but they were not able to finish it because of a yellow. And last year, we were about to start the cycle, but a few laps before, there was an accident. We'll see if that potentially happens again and breaks up that green flag pit cycle. But if it does go all the way through, I think we're going to have a good idea of who is going to be contending for the win once it's all over. You really have got to execute on pit road. Here comes LaTanya Gray. She's moved to second. She's going for the lead, but Gino's going to put her 3 wide. And here comes the 81 with help from Bridget Brousseau. And behind him is Zach Dearman, one of his teammates, trying to draft up there, but the 2 4s are going to get by the 2 Chevrolets on the inside. Now Brousseau potentially... Oh, Tim Berry right in front of the field! Is that going to be a big one? I saw Alnita Kim involved as well, but it doesn't look like that many. Oh no! Holly Martin! Isabella Fitzmaurice!
Brian!
Paula
Sasiqua!
Sasiqua! Jacob
Oh,
Lopez
no!
and more! And the caution comes out on lap 23.
Oh no! And I was just about to mention, you were talking about the possibility of cautions. I was just about to mention how surprising it was that we didn't have a caution yet after so long in this race.
Tim Berry's championship defense continues to go awry. That's a lot of damage on the one car. Oh, and we've got some more piling in. And unfortunately, that happens sometimes here at Daytona. Kate Summers, Damon Kirby, Andrew Kreider. That's probably going to be day done for them. Kim was in the accident, but that's more damage. Martin Swain has damage. I was worried that would happen, but it does happen sometimes. Oh boy.
But they can make it from here, I'm pretty sure. On the pit stop.
It's gonna be a close call for them to make it from here. We might see fuel mileage if we don't get another caution, but oh man, Tim Berry.
Fuel window was roughly 27. We're pitting now. We're coming up to 27 to go here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be close. It might be fuel mileage if we go green all the way. But we will see who gets out of pit road first.
That is heartbreaking for so many drivers there. Paula Sasiqua, nowhere to go for that 12 team. And that's really the first bit of bad luck that we have seen all year for that 12 car, or for the driver of that 12 car, Paula Sasiqua.
Yeah, it doesn't look like she's going to be getting a top 5 here, but there's a lot of other drivers with heavy amounts of damage as well. Oh,
no!
Riley Pearson's trying to get into the pits and manages to slide in.
That's
Andrew Kreider, that's a shame for him. He got a really good chance here with Hudson Motorsports. Looks like they're going to rip the front end off and try to keep going, but they might be under the DVP after all of that. Alnita Kim, the points leader. That's the second week in a row she's gotten involved in an accident. That big points lead that she built up is starting to slip away. Oh, man. Corbin Taps.
There's some damage on the 16 there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first clean car, I'm pretty sure, is the 14 of LaTanya Gray, because the 81 also got involved in something.
Damon Kirby is out. Please, no more of this running into each other under yellow. Damon Kirby is out. Alnita Kim is out. Kate Summers is out. That's big for Kate Summers. She was around the cutoff of the wild card, I believe. The top 10 for the chase. So that's going to be... She's been caught up in a lot of accidents lately, and that's really been hampering her chances of making the chase. But checking in on your lineup here, we still got quite a few cars left in here. Martin Swain is still going with the rear end damage. Honestly, the rear end damage does not affect drivers as much as front end damage, so he might be a little bit better off than someone like Jacob Lopez. Tim
Well,
Berry still out there.
One thing as well, with that rear end damage, we have seen the cars get really squirrely here in this race so far, so might lose a bit of downforce on that 20 car for Martin Swain as the day goes on.
Yeah, that could be troublesome on the corners, but he's still got some damaged cars out there. Again, we'll have to keep an eye on them for the damaged vehicle policy. If they're going too slow, they will be disqualified. That's what we saw from Karina Willis-Callaway in duel number 2. But Corbin Taps has a lot of damage on the right side. Might have had a collision in the pit lane. And we'll see how that impacts this restart here. That could throw things into chaos, but we've already seen a little bit of chaos right here after Tim Berry spun in the tri-oval. We'll show you the replay of what happened, and then we'll get back to the restart here in the Lumen 500. First caution of the race happens right at halfway pretty much. Tim Berry just not clear in front of the 79 of Alnita Kim, looking like Justin Allgaier up there in the Daytona 500, but Kim is going to slide as a result of that. Berry keeps it going, and then behind them, Isabella Fitzmaurice, I guess trying to make an evasive maneuver, runs into the 33 and the 27, spins the 27 of Holly Martin around, the 3 of George Bryan, the 12 of Paula Sasequa, and the 50 of Jacob Lopez will all get caught up in that. A lot of close calls for drivers like Charlie McCarron, who managed to miss it, but that's unfortunate for some of these guys, including Jacob Lopez, George Bryan, and several others who possibly had a shot to win this race. We saw Holly Martin up there towards the front in that first stint, but she's not going to get a good finish here today. And that's just unfortunate. And then, as if that wasn't bad enough, under the caution, we had a bit of an incident as well with the stacking up on the back straightaway, which again, that sometimes happens here at Daytona, but looks like it started here with Martin Swain, and then Kate Summers just not paying attention. Damon Kirby, Alnita Kim, who was already in the crash, gets more damage, and also Andrew Kreider. So an unfortunate side effect of this track. Sometimes you get those stack ups under caution, but that's going to end the days of a few drivers there. Very unfortunate for sure, but this caution is going to make things very interesting for the rest of the race. Possible fuel mileage on the docket here once again, so got to keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, you saw there Tim Berry in that one car just tried to clear. The 79 of Alnita Kim just was not clear in the end of it all. Could have been a lot worse on that front, but then you got Fitzmaurice turning, Holly Martin getting into Riley Pearson. That also gives George Bryan, Jacob Lopez, Paul Sasequa some damage. Really unfortunate, all things considered. That 3 car, the 50 car, 12 car, those were all fairly strong cars here to start this race. You just got to wonder now, where is this going to come out for the rest of the race? You've also got what happened here on the backstreet of Martin Swain, right behind Lori Jackson. So they go behind the billboards here at Daytona, and then there's the stack up. It's just unfortunate. It's an unfortunate series of events that caused this, and it's a very unfortunate series of events that's going to cause us to lose at least 3 cars from this race.
Welcome back here at Daytona, the Lumen 500, wrapping up our first caution of the race. 3 drivers are out of the race: Damon Kirby, Alnita Kim, and Kate Summers. And there are several other cars that are wounded from that accident, including Tim Berry, Jacob Lopez, Holly Martin, and others. Also had a couple of cars stack up under caution, and I believe that's what caused all 3 of those cars to actually retire from the race. Andrew Kreider still out there with a missing front end. Corbin Taps is going to lead them back to green, but he has a big gash on the right side, so he might not be entirely up to speed. LaTanya Gray, Jack Gino, Bridget Brousseau, and Jake Sidney round out the top 5. Green flag is back in the air, and we are back racing here at Daytona. We got some big moves being made back there. 3 wide, Lakin Herndon underneath Vinny Schulz and Zach Dearman. The top 5 all in a line here, trying to get up to speed. Taps is keeping it for now, but we're going to see in about half a lap if that 16 is really still up to pace. And LaTanya Gray, well, her patience ran out. She's done being stuck behind the 16. She's going to look to the inside with Bridget Brousseau. Gino and Sydney, the 2 Hudson Motorsports cars up there on the outside lane. And then you got a line of Toyotas, Herndon, Scholes, and Pearson down on the inside. That 16 does not look particularly quick, so I think these drivers are going to have to filter him out of the pack. That's bad news for Gino, Sydney, and Dupont, who are up there on that outside lane, but everyone on the inside is going to gain a few spots from it. Latanya Gray back out in front here at Daytona with Bridget Brousseau, the two Amateur Series drivers doing duel in the Cup Series. But Herndon's going to try and get that drafted. Here comes the 92 car of Pearson, still looking for that first career win. She's up here in the top 5 now. Lakin Herndon now looks to the inside of Brousseau. Bit of jockeying in the back as they try and get the 16 out of the way. Going to check a little bit further back as well to some of the other damaged cars. It appears the 91 is nowhere to be found. He is well off the pace, as is the 50 of Jacob Lopez. It is possible that both of those drivers will end up getting DVP'd and disqualified from the race. And Pearson has made it 3 wide for the race lead as they come across the line. And she's got help from the teammate Vinny Scholes, but now Scholes looks like she might get pushed up to the outside, or the middle lane rather, and Cooper Spur and Michael Harvin are now down there. But Pearson is going to go to the lead in the Galaxy Air Toyota.
Big move by Cooper Spur already, and Spur, you haven't really seen Cooper Spur up here at all. Just at any point in his LSCI career, you don't really see him running up in the top 5 that often, especially here at Daytona. And he is here fighting for what could possibly be the biggest race of his life.
Oh,
Michael Harvin
JC
up here in the 55.
Oh, making
no.
it close with JT Boyd. But thankfully no accident. By the way, shout out to JC Kreider getting up here. She's knocking on the door of the top 10. This is an outstanding run for that 78. And with the other Streamline Racing car, Damon Kirby, as well as Andrew Kreider being caught up in that stack up there, under caution, JC Kreider is really the only representative of the Kreider family still there. So she's going to have to carry the torch for them, but here comes Lakin Herndon and Michael Harvin. They're going to get underneath Adrian Pearson, and Herndon is going to take the lead in the 39.
One thing I'm starting to get worried about is just how far away the 50 and the 91 are from these race leaders, because we saw how slow they were on the first lap. Oh, good lord.
Yeah, I think it's no-brainer that the 50 and the 91 are going to have to go at some point. We'll let them stay out there for a few more laps just in case there is a caution, but they will definitely be disqualified. Oh, look out! Caution here. Michael Harvin and the 92 of Pearson made contact going into turn 1. That was almost the caution right there. A tight squeeze in the corner. Bridget Brousseau and JT Boyd pushed the issue there as well, but they're going to get out of it.
That was almost big. That would have been a lot worse than that first accident, but they stay together. Harvin trying to take second. Tyler Landry up on the outside. Jake Sidney there on the inside as well now. You all see the 57, Shauna Everett making progress in that Blake Everett car. Both the Blake Everett cars in the field, looking very strong here at Daytona. Of course, the third car, we don't talk about what happened in duel number 1, but...
Here comes Boyd. He's making moves on the inside lane. He's got Jake Sidney behind, and this pack right here is smaller than what we started with. I see Jack Gino is the last one in this pack, and he is currently scored in 26. So it appears we've got a 26-car pack up here. Tim Berry is still running, honestly, not too bad, but he is a little bit behind the pack. Corbin Taps has fallen out of the pack. Paula Sasikwa, Martin Swain, Joanna Clark, Riley Pearson, and then the damaged cars that we pointed out earlier. That 50 car is going to be off the track in a couple of laps, along with the 91. But Lakin Herndon still out in front here at Daytona, and he's pulling quite a bit of a gap on the field. This 39 is looking pretty strong. It's been a while since Lakin Herndon has won. You got to go back to Season 3 at Evergreen late in the season to get his last win. He's been one of the most consistent drivers in LSCI, but he has not gone to victory lane much recently. He's looking to change that here in the Lumen 500, but we got Jake Sidney, who's trying to win back-to-back Lumen 500s. Laurie Jackson, Shauna Everett trying to get the inside moving, but it will still be the 39 and the 19, the two red cars in first and second.
Two red cars leading, and then you got two yellow cars there on the inside. The DeWalt number 6 of Laurie Jackson, the Pennzoil number 57 of Shauna Everett. They're right there to end the pack as well. We've also got the 45 of James Harvin. As we're on 17 laps. Oh, yeah, I didn't even notice that. 17 to go, 45-55, 3 wide of the 77. Sydney trying to get there on the 39 as well, peeking on the inside of Lakin Herndon. Looking for the
Here
race lead. I
comes
saw the
Everett.
50 car. I saw the 50 car on the corner of the screen there. I think, yeah, that's going to do it for Jacob Lopez, unfortunately. Been a very rough stretch after those 3 consecutive wins for Jacob Lopez.
Yeah, he was really nowhere to be seen at Iowa, and got caught up in that wreck here. Nothing he could do. He was just wrong place at the wrong time. Here comes Shauna Everett trying to get Blake Everett Motorsports their first win to the inside of Lakin Herndon, and you might have noticed there the 91 is going to be pulling behind the wall next lap as well, so he will be out of the way. James Harvin is going to go for third on the 19 of Jake Sidney. Kobe Hollenbeck in the 2 car, Adrian Wheeler in the 40. Haven't talked much about either driver, but they have found themselves up here in the mix and trying to make stuff happen on the inside.
Hollenbeck's been very quiet today, but he's been very strong in that number 2 car for Martin Swain Race Team. Very good stuff to see out of Hollenbeck after having to take a points provisional here after the duels.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, their other car, Martin Swain, got some damage from some of the shenanigans there. There you see the 91 pulling behind the wall. Going to check in on George Bryan, and he also will probably end up getting DVP'd, but I believe Holly Martin is going 180, so she will be okay. But Bryan is not quite able to reach 180, so in a couple laps we'll be saying goodbye to him as well, unless we get a yellow. Shauna Everett, Lakin Herndon, they're stringing out a little bit at the front. The front 5, all single file. Then you got Jack Gino underneath, James Harvin here, then 3 wide behind. You got a couple of the Patriot Racing cars hooked up there. Isabella Fitzmaurice and Billy Smith. Fitzmaurice is your pick to win. She's still up here in this lead pack, so she's got a shot at it. But again, the front 5 trying to break away here, and it looks like they're going to try and get the 57 out of the way. Lakin Herndon to the inside with Wheeler behind. He's won at Talladega before, and now he's trying to get the win at Daytona, and Herndon now is going to get help from his teammate JB Chanot as they go low and everyone else goes high.
You got 2 of the Columbia Motorsports cars there on the inside, Herndon and Chanot, but there's no help there on the inside with them. DuPont finally moving down, but Everett might be able to hold the lead on that outside line heading into turn number 3, and she won't actually be able to hold it. DuPont makes it 3 wide behind. Oh, no, she will! What?
Yeah, she's clear. She got enough of a run around the corner to hold on to it.
Incredible driving by Shauna Everett to keep the lead in that 57 car. You mentioned we got the 2 Patriot Racing cars up here. Don't forget, there is a third one in this pack. Nathan Buchanan, while in the back, is in the pack as well in that 15 car.
Yeah, he won the amateur series race here last year at Daytona. Kevin DuPont is looking very strong. He started out back, but he's definitely made his way up towards the front and stayed there in this race. So I think he's got a pretty strong Honda here in that Buffalo Wild Wings car. These are the colors that won last year when they were with Jake Sidney. But James Harvin's going to take him 3 wide with Billy Smith and LaTanya Gray on the inside lane. Wheeler and Chanot kicked up to the 3rd lane. And you're not seeing as much 3 wide here just because there's not as many cars. Mostly 2 wide throughout the pack, but we are still getting 3 in some spots. Everett and Herndon look very strong. I believe those 2 might be the best cars on the track right now. We're going to have to see. And it looks like we're going to be saying goodbye to George Bryan as well, as he is not keeping up to the speed he needs to stay on the track. So his race will be done here, but that will be it in terms of the lap cars. Everyone else is going fast enough, so we can now fully focus on the lead battle, and Shauna Everett and Lakin Herndon are trying to tandem draft away from the pack.
It's kind of working, too. Well, no, not anymore. Here comes Lakin Herndon for the lead.
That was a big slip up there from Shauna Everett, and that's going to give James Harvin possibly an opportunity, but he wasn't able to quite get there. He's still got a run on them, though. And he's going to look to the inside. LaTanya Gray will follow him. Never mind. LaTanya Gray's going to take it 3 wide. Of course she would. What else would we expect from LaTanya Gray? She's got Cooper Spur behind her, and JC Kreider is in the top 6 as well. She's got a shot at this win.
And we're coming up on 10 laps to go this time by. It may be too early to make a move, but it's never too early to try and get some laps led. LaTanya's already led a bunch today. but could she maybe take the lead here and possibly hold it for the final 10 laps? Cooper Spur in the 24. I don't think we've really talked about Cooper Spur all season, Brennan, and now, in the nitty-gritty of the biggest race of the year, Cooper Spur is in contention for this win.
Look out for Vinny Scholes and Jake Sidney. 62 in the 19. Scholes is hungry for a win. Jake Sidney wants to defend his win from last year. And Bridget Brousseau is back up here. She's been very impressive in this race so far. And she's kept herself up towards the front in contention for the win in that Blake Everett Motorsports car. We've been talking about Shauna Everett potentially getting that first win for Blake Everett Motorsports. But Brousseau's got just as good a shot as she does. Here comes Vinny Scholes in the 62. To the inside of Cooper Spur. Not going to get there, but Spur is going to cross underneath Latanya Gray for second. Coming to 9 laps to go. Next time by, it's still anybody's race in this lead pack. Watch out for Tyler Landry, who's trying to come up through the field. Adrian Pearson is up in the top 10 as well. And there's still no predicting who's going to win this thing, but Shauna Everett has been looking poised up at the front. We'll see if she can hold on to it for a little bit longer.
I am starting to wonder, though, where is the 27 of Holly Martin compared to these drivers? Because we know that 27 is a bit off the pace. She's going through 3 and 4 right now. And it's going to be about a quarter lap ahead.
She might get in the way a little bit, but she's not running as slow as those other lap cars were, so she won't cause as much of a disturbance, but she could still mess with the pack here. The minimum speed is 180, and she's going 183, so she is above minimum speed. But here we go. Vinny Scholes, Bridget Brousseau have moved to second and third to try and challenge the 57 of Shauna Everett for the race lead. Everett has not won since season 2 at Denver. That is her only career win. Bridget Brousseau is going to look to the inside of Vinny Scholes and try and make it a Blake Everett 1-2 here late in the race at the Lumen 500. Adrian Pearson almost won in this car 2 years ago. Bridget Brousseau is going to try and bring it to victory lane here this year. Or possibly push her teammate to the win, but there's still plenty of laps for things to change. And we got all 3 of the past winners in this race are in the top 10. Billy Smith, Jake Sidney, and JB Chanot all looking to add a second Lumen 500 win to their resume. Chanot is going to look to the inside and take him 3 wide.
Big move by Chanot, and here comes the 15 of Nathan Buchanan as well at Napa Chevrolet. For Patriot Racing Incorporated has finally come alive with 7 laps to go in the Lumen 500. Up to third, pushing the 29 of JB Chanot, but it's still Shauna Everett who leads the way. Ikia Tajima in the 99, also on that inside, pushed by Adrian Wheeler and Jack Gino.
Yeah, Tajima might have a run here to take him 3 wide here and put Brousseau up on the top, and here he comes. Ikia Tajima in the 99 is trying to get himself into the top 5. He's got the push from Adrian Wheeler. Jack Gino not too far behind as well. Chanot and Everett have cleared the pack. Everett's done a good job controlling the lanes so far. There's been a lot of fighting amongst each other, but Chanot is going to have help coming from a teammate. We'll see if JB Chanot can take advantage of that. As the laps wind down here at Daytona, will Tajima clear the 3 wide situation this time? Not quite, but the front 2 are out in front of the pack by a little bit of a gap. The pack will definitely close back in on them, though. They cannot hold that gap forever. And here comes Wheeler and Gino. Wheeler trying to steal another one and win back-to-back super speedway races. Tajima will block him down low. He is now clear of that 3 wide, and it looks like Wheeler will do the same off of turn number 4. So the front 4 now single file, all led by Shauna Everett, with 5 laps to go in the closing stages of the Lumen 500.
How stressful do you think this has to be for everyone in this lead pack, especially the 57 of Shauna Everett? Here we go for third. Adrian Wheeler in the 40. On the inside of Ikia Tajima. Lincoln Herndon on the inside of Jack Gino. Charlie McCarron is finally back in that 85 car. We haven't seen her since she lost the lead about 30 laps ago. But now the 85 is back, pushed by JT Boyd, and Kevin DuPont is there as well. The 2 Walker Brothers racing cars in the field are here in the fight for the win as they come up on 4 laps to go. Tajima on the inside of Chanot for third. Adrian Wheeler's up to second place, and here comes Lincoln Herndon as they reach 4 to go.
3 Columbia cars in the top 5, but they're not that organized. It is Everett and Wheeler in first and second. Wheeler is known for breaking hearts here on the super speedways. He could do the same to Shauna Everett with 4 laps to go. Will the pack get a run on them? Charlie McCarron was one of the only cars that we were able to see holding the lead for an extended period of time. And here comes the 27 of Holly Martin. They're probably going to run into her. She could decide the winner of this race. McCarron's going to try and look 3 wide at turn 3. Oh, that was a close moment between the 39 and the 99 as they approach the lap traffic. Everett and Wheeler trying to get a draft off of that 27 car. What will Holly Martin do once they get to her? They're going to get to her right now with 3 laps to go. What will Everett and Wheeler do? Oh, they're going to get blocked. They're going to cross her under. At least Everett is. And it looks like Everett will be the first one to get by the 27. But the 27 is going to hold up the top. The entire
Wheeler almost
pack
cleared
got
himself
slowed
on
down.
McCarron. Wheeler almost got turned by the 85, but here comes McCarron. Fitzmaurice is there as well in the 80. You don't see the 55 and the 24, the 2 and the 10 on the outside line. Charlie McCarron in the 85 trying to get second. Can't quite get there. Wheeler stays behind. Shauna Everett, though, has a big lead, but you don't want a big lead here at Daytona, especially when you come up to 2 laps to go in the 2026 Lumen 500. Adrian Wheeler's right there on Shauna Everett. Is he going to make the move into turn 1? Yes, he is. Wheeler for the lead. Can he take it?
Fitzmaurice down to the bottom. Are we going to get a repeat of Talladega here at Daytona as she tries to fight for third? Everett's going to lose the lead to Adrian Wheeler. And it's the opposite situation to what we saw at Talladega. It was Fitzmaurice leading in the closing stages, getting passed by Adrian Wheeler. But Michael Harmon's going to try to prevent that from happening. Did not get the gap, though. He does not have the run. But we're coming up on the final lap. 1 lap to go here in the Lumen 500. They are still side by side for the race lead as they come out of turn number 4. Is Fitzmaurice going to try and make a move to the bottom? She's not quite able to just yet as they take the white flag. Everett and the 40 are side by side. Here comes Fitzmaurice to the inside. But she's not able to get there. Still side by side between Everett and Wheeler.
This is unbelievable stuff. Can Everett use the middle lane to her advantage to try and get clear of the 40? Fitzmaurice looking inside. Harvin right behind. Harvin looks to the inside of Fitzmaurice. They're going to be 3 wide for third. A big run for Everett on the outside.
She's not quite clear, though. They're still going to be side by side. Coming through turns 3 and 4. Will it be a photo finish here in the Lumen 500? The help coming for Wheeler on the bottom. They're side by side off of turn number 4. But Everett's going to get the push. Shauna Everett, Blake Everett Motorsports have finally done it. They've won in the Lumen 500. Shauna Everett has won at Daytona.
Unbelievable! I thought she had no chance when Wheeler made that move with 2 to go! But my God, she did it! Shauna Everett, finally back in victory lane. Blake Everett Motorsports, finally in victory lane! Unbelievable race here at Daytona!
And the bell will be going off in Charlotte tonight for the first time. Blake Everett Motorsports are winners, and they've done it on the biggest stage, the Lumen 500. What a defense by Shauna Everett. Wheeler looked like he had it in the bag. We were talking about a possible sequel to Talladega between Wheeler and Fitzmaurice, but Everett and McCarron held their own on the outside, and Shauna Everett is going to get her second LSCI win, her first one in 3 years, and she is going to do it at Daytona. How about that?
That is unbelievable. And look at 8th place, Simon Lawrenson. Great run for Checker Flag Racing to come home with 8th. Cooper Spur in 7th. A little bit heartbreaking for Fitzmaurice to come home in 6th, but man, Shauna Everett, what a race that was for her. I thought she had no chance of keeping that with 2 to go, but she did it. And for the first time in the team's history, Shauna Everett has dragged Blake Everett Motorsports to victory lane on the grandest stage of them all.
Absolutely. That team, Blake Everett Motorsports, has been slowly building and slowly improving every single year. They've gotten very close to wins. Everett herself almost won multiple times last year. Ashley Blake had a couple chances of winning last year. And we mentioned Adrian Pearson almost got them a win a couple years ago in this race. And all of that progress has finally culminated in a win for them. What an amazing story for them. Shauna Everett gets the win. Adrian Wheeler will have to settle for second, but he put everything he had in that last lap. If Michael Harvin was a bit closer to the back of the 40, he might have had a shot there. But Adrian Wheeler is going to have to settle for P2. Charlie McCarron, oh so close to another win, but I'm sure she'll be satisfied with P3. Michael Harvin, JT Boyd round out the top 5. Isabella Fitzmaurice once again with a good finish on the super speedways. Cooper Spur, Simon Lawrence, and Kobe Hollenbeck all get top 10s, and Billy Smith will round out the top 10. And we had no fuel mileage in this race. That is something that you love to see. 31 cars on the lead lap. It appears Corbin Taps blew his motor at some point, so that damage on the right side definitely did a number on his car. We had 3 cars that had to be DVP'd and 3 cars that retired from the race. But Darian, what did you think of this year's edition of the Lumen 500? I think that was just as good as the last 2 years were.
Absolutely unbelievable race. To be alongside you to commentate a race like this is so special. It just unbelievable racing the entire 50 laps. No matter where you look, there was action everywhere, just how you want it, especially at a track like Daytona in the biggest race of the year. And just an unbelievable finish, unbelievable drive by Shauna Everett to finally get Blake Everett Motorsports' first ever win. It's got to feel somewhat bittersweet for Ashley Blake, I'm sure, not being in the race, but I don't think she's going to care nonetheless.
I mean, she was probably up on the pit box watching that whole thing, so she's going to be in the victory lane celebration. But this team has gone through so much over the last couple years. Of course, this team split off from Checkered Flag Racing at the end of season 2, forging their own path. Their shop is only a few blocks down the road from Checkered Flag Racing's. They've had a heated rivalry ever since, but Checkered Flag Racing's been the only team getting any wins until now. Shauna Everett gets to victory lane here at Daytona. That is such an amazing story for her, especially after all the close calls she had as well. Last year at Kentucky and Denver, she got very close to winning those races, but there's no more close anymore. Now she's flat out got a win, and that has got to feel excellent for that race team. But that is going to wrap up the 2026 Lumen 500. Another barn burner. Once again, this race never fails to disappoint. Always some top tier racing here at Daytona. And congratulations to Shauna Everett and Blake Everett Motorsports on the win. Again, it got to be an amazing feeling for them. After all the struggles of their 2.5 years of existence, they finally got one. But that's going to do it for today here at Daytona. Thank you so much to Darian Arnsdorf for joining me today and throughout all of Speed Weeks. Next week, we're going to be going to the Chicagoland Speedway, which is definitely going to be another fun race. We have seen some crazy finishes at Chicagoland, so if you liked that race, be sure to tune in next week for the Chicagoland one as well. But on behalf of Darian, this is Brendan Wilmington from the Left Turn Network, signing out. Here are your point standings after race number 10 of 30, which will be on your screen right now.